E360 TV proudly presents messages of inspirational stories. Live streaming now to millions of devices, including Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, with your host, Donna Guimwa, producer and host, Jim Grant, producer and host, along with Michaela Vidal, administrator and host, and Gaia Guimwa Balconi Wada, editor-in-chief. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. I'm glad my voice is a little better. Right after Christmas, we came home. My wife got sick on the way home, and she had a cold, and then she passed it on to me, and I'm finally just about out of the woods now, so my voice is not quite 100%, so I apologize for that. But I was teasing her. I said, Christmas is a time when you want to give the gift and receive the gift that just keeps on giving. Well, this is one gift I wish we hadn't got. You got to keep your sense of humor up. Thank you so much for joining us. The Messages of Inspirational Stories is proudly brought to you by the 6-Minute Webinar and also our good friend, Mr. Bill Heinrich, The 7 Levels of Truth. My goodness gracious. You've heard me talk a lot about this book. Bill and I we're very close friends. We do the radio show together. And this 7 Levels of Truth, if you're struggling on, how to get going, how to get rid of some distractions in your life, how to be focused on harmony and peace and love in your life, because as Bill explains in his book, there's only 2 emotions. There's fear and there's love. Fear is all physical. Let go of the physical, because everything in the physical is negative. Well, not everything is negative, but you know what I mean. Your mind can only bring up the past. It's not a crystal ball or anything like that. But focus on loving yourself first, being your very best friend. Then you can love others and be their best friend too, or be good friends with them. And the 6-Minute Webinar, my goodness gracious, we've had a good friend of ours on here several times, Mr. Rick Sassari. And Rick was telling us, Rick, for you folks that don't know, may not know him, he's the marketing guy behind George Foreman Grill, GoPro cameras, OxyClean, all those big TV commercial successful things. Rick is the guy behind that, and he is really he really knows what he's doing, obviously. But he was sharing something with us, me and Don McGrath and Bill Heinrich. We are the founders of the 6-Minute Webinar. In fact, let me clarify that. Don McGrath and Bill Heinrich created it, and because we're partners, they invited me along for the ride, so I'm very grateful in that regard. But I want to be honest. But Rick was sharing with us that he says, I kept hearing about the 6-Minute Webinar, and I kept hearing Jim, trying to, talk about its introduction, a body of clothes, a call to action and all that, but he says it just doesn't resonate with him. And we walked him through the 6-Minute Webinar and also the Offer Pal. And he was just blown away. And he says the word webinar is misleading. So we're going to be working on that. But the main thing of it is that if this is our new complimentary gift for you folks out there. If you're struggling trying to get your message across, you may do one thing, 2 or 3, or whatever. You focus on one thing at a time. How can you communicate to your ideal clients? How can you target the people that want to hear what you have to say? The 6-Minute Webinar enables you to focus. As Rick said, it required me to get away with all this other unnecessary verbiage and focus in on bullet comments. That's what the 6-Minute Webinar is all about, ladies and gentlemen. And let me put up the email there. If you'd like more information on it, again, this is a complimentary, no strings attached, no cost or anything like that. You like a complimentary 6-Minute Webinar and get some information on it, please email us here at the station, inspiratione360tv.com. You see it there on the marquee. We'll be glad to get the information to you. We will answer your questions. And most importantly, you will walk away with some benefit. We're going to be doing a 6-minute webinar class. So we're going to be selecting people who contact us, and they will be in that class, get their 6-minute webinar at no cost to them. How about that? That's pretty unique in it. We're also very excited about the new program we got rolling out. It's so new, we don't even have a name for it yet. But we're helping businesses, small businesses. And because I remember when I was in business, I owned a manufacturing business. And people ask you, well, what do you do? Well, I, do this, I do that, and I do the other. And, you just give this popcorn answer, pop up here, pop up there. And that's the same way. That's the problem with when someone asks us, what is it that you do? We want to tell them everything. Your ideal client and your target market only wants to know what you can do for them. They don't care about all the other things. And I remember we put our website up because I was a laggard in that. And it was back in the 90s, and people kept saying, you need a website. You need a website. And I said, no, I don't. No, I don't. And the reason why, because all the people I went to see, my customers, they were just on company computers. They weren't out surfing the web or looking for this or that. They would just call us and issue us a purchase order, and boom, chicky boom, they got their, if they called today, they normally got it today because we had our own trucks and all that. So, but my point being, when the webmaster back in those days, World Wide Web, he says, what do you want on your website? Well, I don't know. And see, that is the problem with a lot of small businesses out there. You don't know how to communicate and get your name and your brand and your product and what you offer in front of people. And we're putting together, we got a program that we've already established. We're fine-tuning it right now. We're going to be rolling it out. And that program, and here's another complimentary gift. Just contact us here at the TV station, inspiratione360tv.com. That comes into our program. One of our staff members will get it, and we will get information back to you. Now, this is what the complimentary gift is. Let's say you're a small business, and you're not really interested in your name and your brand being advertised, or being in front of people, that's 3,000 miles away, because they're not your clients. They're not going to drive from New York down to Mississippi to shop at your store or to buy online from you, whatever. Anyway, we can actually do a survey. Listen up now. We can do a survey very quickly. It only takes a few moments on your competitors and show you what their social media imprint is in that area. We also have the ability to determine when they advertise stuff or when they put stuff in there, because this is something very important. Twitter recently released a statement, and they said that, I wrote this down, they said that just a 10% increase in your social media posting, it can lead up to 3% in sales volume. But the problem of it is, for the business owner, you're so busy, taking care of the everyday needs of your business. You don't have time to sit down. Okay, now what do I want to write here? Well, I said that yesterday. We have a team of experts who actually know how to do that. And we can post on your social media. We don't even need your passwords. We really don't. And that's how good our team is. But realistically, it's so important, because the way the advertising is going, especially when you want to build your business and get your name, your brand, your product, your service, whatever it is, out in front of your target audience. Think of all the 5-10-second commercials we see from big companies on our cell phones. Or when you're watching a YouTube video, for example, something to pop up, for a few seconds, and you can, cut it off and that sort of thing. Because the big companies, they get it. They know they got to keep their name out there in front of their clients and potential clients or customers and potential customers. Otherwise, they're going to be left in the dust. And for the small business owner, that's a hassle. And we're putting together, or I say we're putting together, we have put together, we're rolling it out this year. We're very excited about it. But again, our complimentary gift to you, and forgive me if I'm all over the place. I didn't do a 6-minute webinar on this. If I had, I'd been really crystal clear on my bullet points. But if you'd like to say, okay, we have a restaurant in this town, and I'd like to know how the other restaurants are doing on the social media scene. Because how many times when you see an ad or you see something, you go like, and it triggers a response from your customer or from you that you want to go and visit that establishment. That's the most important thing. And first of all, starting out with this new year, before I get into any nuts and bolts things, I'm going to share some great information with you. I really think, ladies and gentlemen, the first step of being successful in life is to love yourself and be grateful for what you have. That is so critical for your mental health and well-being. Give thanks for what you do have, because right now you can think of people that do not have the blessings that you've got. I mean, think about your health, for example. How many people are in a hospital right now? This time last year, I was still getting over open heart surgery. I'd already had it, but I was home recovering. And that takes a little while, when they do 4 bypasses on you. I had a condition known as the widowmaker, and it with down the LAD, the lower portion of them. I get with the lower whatever that LAD stands for. It's the main muscle in the heart, in the front, and the lower part that pumps. And that widowmaker, it's a very serious condition. So I say I give thanks that I had a heart attack. I give thanks that I was smart enough to get to the hospital during the heart attack, and I didn't put it off, because it wasn't anything like grabbing my chest and falling over on the floor or anything like that. I had a burning sensation in my chest. And I'm sharing this with you because I just feel that maybe there's someone out there that might need to hear this. And we had a blood pressure machine at home, a lot of people at home, but when you have that burning sensation here, and you had pain in between my shoulders, like an arrow going straight through at the base of behind my neck there. And I had pain in both arms from the elbows down. And I didn't have any shortness of breath or anything like that. Those were just my symptoms. It was a mild heart attack. So I'm grateful I had a mild heart attack. But by the time we had taken my blood pressure here, and I forget what it was, but it was much higher than normal. And I never had any previous problems, okay? And they found the UCLA Medical School published an article in 2009 that 70 or 75% of the people, you can Google this, it's on the internet, that wind up in the ER with a heart attack are patients just like me. They had good blood pressure. Their LDL was good. They had no red flags, but bam, there they are. My LDL 2 years before was at 76. And even in the hospital after I had my heart attack, it was only 96. So anything under 100 with the LDL, with the medical community, it's kind of, hey, you're doing great. But I had a heart attack. And anyway, long story short, I'm so grateful for that, because I was able to get the bypasses to correct this hereditary disease I had in my heart. And because the widowmaker, it is, if you have a heart attack outside of the hospital with the widowmaker condition, you have about a 15% survival rate. In the hospital, I think it's around 60%. So it's a serious thing. So therefore, give thanks in everything. That's critical for you, because that's going to set your mind up to receive the blessings of life, to help you build your business. And we're going to go into a few tips there. And of course, things that they're talking about here, I'm on HuffPost. I'm just looking at this here. It says, your pet. Studies show that pet pet ownership increases happiness. Overall, I guess it does. There's sometimes they can be very, challenging to you. And it talks about all the little things, in life that really can make you happy. Focus on making you happy this year. I know a lot of people say, well, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get in the exercise program. I'm going to do this and that. Make up your mind that you want to be happy and you want to be grateful. That's a starting point of living the great life. Oh, and they talked about, okay, your morning coffee, all the health benefits about that. I'm not going to get into all of that, but I mean, in the morning when I get up, I drink my lemon water or my apple cider vinegar mix that I get from toughmotherbrand.com, toughmotherbrand.com. Great product, great people over in Austin, Texas. And after that, I feel good. And then I start my morning coffee. And it just, laughter. They talk about laughter, how that is linked to health benefits ranging from better immune systems to lower blood pressure. Learn to laugh and learn to laugh at yourself and learn to forgive yourself and give yourself grace. We all need that. And the list goes on. And, give thanks for your health. Give thanks for the sunny days and during this winter time. And give thanks for your family and your friends. That's very, very important. And, be thankful and make notes, sharing what you're thankful for with other people. And I'd like to now to get into, get a little information here about understanding your market. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask it like this. Pick out your number one product, your main product, the one that you have a love and a passion for. How can you understand how to target your market? Now, the 6-minute webinar does help you that, but one way to help ensure that your business succeeds, they talk about is researching enough to understand your target market. In other words, for every feature that your product offers, there has to be a benefit to your ideal client. And what your main focus on getting your message out when it comes to marketing is not to attract everybody, is to repel the ones that you cannot help. You want to be able to attract the people that you can help, and you can do that with a successful marketing plan. You can just basically, the way it's worded and all that, the way you can present yourself and all that, people will automatically, in other words, a good filtering system there. And it can be done. And we share that when we go through the 6-minute webinar. We share that with folks who contact us about getting a free evaluation about their business stacked up against their competitors. We will share that information more with you in detail there. But it's so important because you got to look at some things that you want to make sure that you're targeting. What problem are you solving in their life? That's why people look at any ad. Okay, what's in it for me? What's this product going to do for me or this service? And right there is where you can attract the people you can help and repel the people that you cannot help. Okay, that's very critical because Coca-Cola can't handle everybody, and neither can Walmart. They may want to, but they really can't, and you certainly can't either. So knowing your customers will help you identify what they look for online and develop relevant solutions to meet their needs. This is why social media posting, saying the right thing consistently several times a week is so critical. Because bam, they see it, bam, they see it, bam, they see it. It'd be different words, of course. It's not going to be the same thing over and over and over, because that's the beauty. And you can tweak it a little bit. Our team can, and it's just critical because you got to keep your product and your name out there. You got to let people know this is the problem I can solve for you. This is the feature. This is the benefit. This is the feature. This is the benefit. And you can stagger those and talk about other products as well. But that is the main thing, because you want to gain insights into their preferences, into their habits through surveys, social media. Social media it's here to stay. It really is. I mean, look at all the people looking at their phones. I'm guilty of it. You're guilty of it. We all are. They're just addictive, aren't they? And then you need to be able to determine what your customers, are particular about their online security. You need to be aware of that, and you need to assure them that if they patronize your business, you're not going to share their email address or anything personal with anybody else. And just let them know, your personal information is secure with us because we hate spam too. You want to let them know that you're real people just like they are, because that's who they want to deal with. They want to deal with people they know, like, trust, and respect. And it's also best to put in measures to protect your client information. You might want to get with your webmaster or the person that designed your website or whatever to make sure that your security is up to date there, because that would be critical. And they talk about you could enroll in courses such as Master of Cyber Security Online and all that. You can if you want to, if you have the time and you have the money. But most people run the business don't have the time, and a lot of them don't have the money. But you could just ask the person that is in charge of your website, say, hey, is my customers and clients' information, personal information, is it secure? Where is it weak? Ask questions. That won't cost you anything. And therefore, that would give you the assurance inside. When you tell a client or a customer that, you're telling them the truth from the bottom of your heart. And that's critical, because that's what you want to be. You want to be known as a person that's very honest and reputable. And also ask your webmaster. I'll call him webmaster. I'm old school. I don't know what they call these guys now. But that's what I call my web guy, webmaster. I call him by his first name, but that's who he is, and that's what he does. You've seen the SSL certificate. That's a secure sockets layer. That's what SSL stands for. You see that on websites. And you need to make sure that your website has that, because that's critical. That is another plus for someone willing to give you their credit card information, okay? And it would also help if you constantly update your systems to protect your customers' information and safely discard. Listen to this. You can let them know this, that when we no longer need your information, we will safely discard any personal information that we no longer need. Okay. This way, it helps assure your customers that you are credible and trustworthy and all that. And they talk about outsourcing. It says you may not always be able to handle every aspect of your online business yourself. And that's true. But whenever you outsource, you want to make sure you're dealing with people who know what they're doing, people that have the ability to be able to listen to you and be able to get the bullet points about your business and get it out there to the potential clients and customers online, social media, so they can see it. And you can outsource some of this, and we recommend you to, interview anybody and everybody. Ask them questions. That's critical, because the more questions you ask, the better informed you are and the better decisions you can make for you and your business. You owe that to your clients and your customers, ladies and gentlemen. And they talk about here, for instance, that you can get a professional to assist you with search engine optimization. You certainly can. And there's good resources out there for that. And this way you can focus on other aspects of your business and give it the maximum attention that it needs. In other words, you need the time to use your time to be able to focus on the nuts and bolts of your business that no one else can do. And get people who are subject matter experts who know how to outsource and get this information out to your potential clients. And you'll be able to, and you should be able to monitor that just by glancing at it, just by one click. What they say there? Okay, what's that? Okay, I'm good with that. And that's very, very important because you don't want to waste your time and have them people not understand what they're doing and send out, something that's just kind of like blasé. And that's very important. But also, too, this is extremely important. Develop engaging content. People love to be entertained. I mean, look at the commercials back in the 60s. I know a lot of you folks were not around in the 1960s, but a lot of the commercials were funny. And nowadays, with everything being so restricted and all that, they would be outlawed. But the thing was, people laughed about it. And there used to be jingles because it communicated more than just blah, blah, blah. Developing engaging content is extremely important. Several online businesses out there, they do this, but one great way to distinguish yourself from others is to develop an engaging content that can sustain your target market's attention. The best way to do that is to be consistent. Again, look at the 5 and 10-second ads we see, maybe 15-second ads we see. I'm not going to name any companies, but we see it from insurance companies to all the big companies. You know what I'm talking about. You see them too, banks, everybody, because they get this. They have these big, high dollar marketing agencies that says, hey, this is the trend. This is what you need to do. So you can do the very same thing, and you can do it for not even a fraction of the cost that it costs them. And that's the beauty and one of the things that we're doing here at this station. And everything that I'm sharing with you, you can be sure and get information on this. A complimentary, no cost. We're not going to put your name, name on an email address or put email information out and fill up your inbox with a bunch of stuff. Which reminds me of something. I have been very, very serious about this, ladies and gentlemen. If you know of someone that would want to raise their hand and say, hey, I'd like that opportunity, have them get in touch with our email address here at the station. I have been looking for a business, a person in business. We see these ads, how people can, let me use Bitcoin, for example. Everybody's familiar with Bitcoin. Hey, side of a man, da, 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 and all that. And I've said, listen, and it hasn't been in fact, I haven't contacted anybody in Bitcoin. I'm just using it or in the Bitcoin business, but I've just used this using this as an example. There's one individual that he proclaimed he could do these things in business. I said, okay, I got a challenge for you. My challenge is this. Come on my TV show on Mondays, because on Mondays, we discuss business. On Tuesdays, we talk about finding health naturally. On Wednesday, it's mentoring our youth. On Thursday, pets we love. And Friday is women in leadership. But on Mondays, people who are interested in the Monday program, they can tune in on Monday. We could actually start a brand new account from ground zero, regardless of what the market, regardless of what business you're in. I don't care. Now, I will interview the individual and I'll make sure they got credentials before I put them on the air. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not going to take just anybody just pops up, hey, But start an account out at zero and be open and honest. This is what we did, and we would do intervals every week, giving, 5 or 10 minute update. Last week, we had a few headaches, but this, or this week we had we had a few things that went wrong, but we had some things that went well, But be open and honest and show and everybody knows the results are not going to be typical. We'll say that. We'll put it on a marquee, for goodness sakes. But you know what really amazes me, ladies and gentlemen? All these big talkers, they haven't taken me up on that. I mean, we got an international TV show. We're on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, my goodness, Android TV. We're on a whole bunch of stations. We're international. We're all over the world. I mean, if you don't believe in your product that much, what's that saying about you? Because wouldn't you like to see, some marketing guy has got a great product or can help people that's struggling go from ground zero to start making some money and say, this is what we did. This is this is what went well. This is the lessons we learned, and be open and honest about it. Because everybody knows we're going to have some struggles along the way. So what? So therefore, I think I've hammered that enough. Therefore, if you are someone that's always advertising, their business, hey, sign up with me. I made $4,000 last week or whatever. I'm not into that kind of stuff, but I'm talking about a grassroots, down-to-earth, realistic person who will be honest enough and credible enough to say, this is what we did this week. This is how it went. We were hoping to do better, or we did better than what we thought. And we will put on a series of these shows. When I say these shows, 5 and 10 minute increments, updates, so people could say, okay, that's how that's where it's going. Because I just like to see that happen one time on a TV show. And so far, no one has really taken me up on that. And the way I look at it, because you folks know me, if I endorse something, I believe it. I don't attach my name to anything just for money. In fact, I've turned down money that did not align itself with our programs. Advertising money. And because it's just not congruent with our message. And that's just the way we're wired here. But anyway, I think I've hammered that enough. I want to get some more back into these tips here. Be sure and develop engaging content. One of the things too is ask questions. That's beautiful on blogs. This product here, this is what it does. I'd like your opinion on something like that. Or just ask people. People love to give you their opinion. Look at all the blogs. I've been in several of these group messenger things, and I made a comment, nothing negative or anything like that. And I can't even remember now what the comment was, but here's this other guy who was, in fact, the comment that I made was to the person that generated the group, messenger. And it wasn't anything negative. I don't remember what I said now, but anyway, this guy popped in and he wanted to, add his 2 cents to it. And I read it and I'm going like, what does that have to do with anything that I said? But people love to give you their opinion. So just embrace that, take that, but by people sharing their information with you, you are engaging them. And I will guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, you will get some, I hadn't even thought about that ideas. And that is a great enhancement. And, of course, on your blogs, you want to make sure that, anyone that's on a personal agenda for, religion or political issues or anything like that, or if they use foul language, block them. You don't need those kind of people in your life. They need to do something with their life, and it's not to be an eyesore or be a thorn in your side. So develop engaging content. That is critical. A lot of times too, payment is a big thing. How can people pay you? There are many resources out there where you can find ways to have people be able to afford something. You see it in magazines, 5 easy payments of $2.38 a month or something like that. Can you develop a small bite-sized affordable payment plan for your product or your service? That might be something you might want to consider. And you got to look at the risk there about how much information do you give. What if, because you don't want to give them everything and then them not pay you. That's not fair to you. And you're not doing them a service either. You really aren't, because they're not investing in themselves. To be successful in life, you have to invest in yourself. That's critical. And besides that, you're worthy of being paid for your product or service. You really are. If it's a book that you wrote, and your book is $19.95, you can determine on how many, if you want to split it up into 2 or 3 payments. I would recommend for you to get your first third of the payment, let's say it's 3 payments, and your shipping and handling on the first and the upfront, and then put their credit card in there and, for the other payments to come out. That might be an option, because someone may want to buy your book, but thinking, well, $19.95, but, whatever, let's say 20 divided by 3 at $6 and a third cents or something like that, $6 a month, I could afford that, But that might be something you might ask of that in a blog. Get some input. Don't put yourself on an island. Because just say, hey, I've got this product or this service or this book, whatever it is, and I'm thinking about offering people a convenient payment plan. I would like to ask your opinion, because people love to give you their opinion. And I promise you, I know from experience, ladies and gentlemen, that people will, they'll share something with you, go like, wow, I hadn't even thought of that, and that's just the way the world turns. And when it comes to offering convenient payment plans, you want to make sure that your payment options that help protect you, your clients' payments, avoid issues such as fraud and hacks. That's something that's critical. That's where that SSL certificate came in that I mentioned earlier. Make sure you get with your webmaster on that and see if that secure sockets layer SSL certificate is there, because people are very, you don't want anybody getting your credit information or your credit card information, and I don't either, and no one else does. And people only want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. And always ask for testimonies from people, from clients. And I highly recommend, rather than, John C. or Mary M. from, wherever they're from, I recommend, especially as with videos today, oh my goodness gracious, on cell phones and selfies, just ask someone, would you give me a 5 or 10 second video? And if you would, I'd be more than happy, and be able to, be willing to compensate them for that. Give them a discount, give them a gift, give them something in return. Everything has got to be a win-win situation for both people, because the beauty in the video, people can look at John C. and see that John C. is a real person. They can see Mary M. and see that Mary's a real person. And the value in that, ladies and gentlemen, the true value in that is the fact that maybe your client may have a lady out there that says, I like Mary. I feel like I can connect with her. Well, she may not be able to connect with John. Same is true with Mary. Somebody may look at Mary or John, male or female, makes no difference, and say, I can connect. I like John. He seemed like an honest guy. There's just something about his persona. And it will enhance your sales, because people love to be infotained. People ask me, why is our show so successful? Well, we provide infotaining information. We really do. And we're just so blessed here. I want to take a moment, if I may, and give a shout out to Donna Guinois and Emerson Brantley Michaela Vidal, Charlene Fouts, and Guy Aginwa Balcony, Wada, for all of the work that they've done in behind the scenes for last year. And I want to say thank you. And Donna, she does a lot of shows, and me and her do shows when our schedule permits us to get together. And we're just family. That's what's critical in life. We love each other. We're all related as far as, and we all are related. Even you are related to me. You may be my brother and sister by a different mother, but we're all related. Scientists has proven that our DNA, all of our DNA of every human on planet Earth, can be traced back to one set of parents. And that's scientific fact. And so if I look at someone different, or if you look at someone different, just because they're different than you, please, please, please let that go. Because that's very, very narrow-minded, it's very, very small-minded, and it hurts you. This is a time for us to give thanks, especially for the new year starting out. This is a time for us to be grateful for what we have. This is a time for us to let someone that we haven't gotten in contact with in a long time to say, hey, I was thinking about you. And I hope you're doing well. And I just wanted you to know that you are on my mind and I care about you. Now, if you receive that, I'm not saying the exact message, but if you receive that message from someone that you hadn't heard from in a long time, how would that make you feel? And think about, ladies and gentlemen, think about when you make someone feels good, that's going to come right back to you. Maybe not directly from them, but indirectly, because you've set yourself up for success. That's the key in life, is set yourself up with success. That's why you want to start with loving yourself, being grateful in your heart for what you have, forgiving others that need to be forgiven, okay? My mother, bless her heart, she used to always, Mom said this a lot growing up, and she meant it. And I haven't done this as good of a job as I should, to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. She used to tell me, and she told all of us kids, if you can't say anything nice about somebody, don't you say anything at all. Shame on you. And Mother, she always hoped and prayed that everyone, goes to a better place after life here on earth. And I believe in that too. I'd like for everyone to have a beautiful hereafter when this life is over. But I said this one time and my mother heard it and she did not appreciate my sense of humor. I said, yeah, I hope in the Creator's infinite wisdom, he'll put some way over on the other side somewhere. I was just joking. But anyway, let's get back on the topic here. Got to throw that out there. But whenever you're dealing with people, they want to know that you care about them. We've had people come into our 6-minute webinar, into a webinar scenario. And one of the questions we ask them, what is it that you want to do? I want to make money. That is the most pitiful answer you could have on planet Earth. Think about this. Money is a reward for what? Your efforts, your product, your service, whatever it is that you deliver. Okay? Now, that being said, if you come in and you say, well, I'm only interested in money, that means subconsciously you're telling your mind that you're not really caring about the client or the customer out there. You want to care that you meet their needs. You want to also offer them a guarantee. 100%, no questions asked, guaranteed. If my product or my service does not live up to your expectations, please let me know. I will be glad to refund your money. Emerson tells a story how he worked for a big company, and those of you who follow the show, you know Emerson's website. Let me just put Emerson's website up there. You can get a chance to see Mr. Emerson Brantley in living color and what he does here. Let me say, oh yeah, there it is. There it is. That's Emerson's website there, web3direct.com. Emerson's has done business with a lot of big companies, okay? Everything from a small business, mom and pop operation to Fortune 100 companies. He is a marketing guru. He mentioned one time in a board meeting, we need to offer a lifetime guarantee on this product. Immediately, everybody would just flare it up on him. And Emerson says, when you look at the maintenance records of the product, what issues do the customers have? Well, they don't. Well, issue a lifetime warranty. It doesn't cost you anything. Emerson is very, very brilliant. He calls that marketing currency. This is a little nicety to know for you folks that's hung in here. Build value out of your product and service, out of thin air without it costing you one thin dime. That's marketing currency. And if you'd like to know a little bit more in detail about that, anything we share here on the show, just get in touch with us here at the TV station, inspiration at e360tv.com, there on the marquee. And just put down, like, if you're interested in the social media we talked about, just say, tell me more about social media. If you're interested in the 6-minute webinar, I'd like to know more about the 6-minute webinar. Jim, you mentioned something about marketing, or just say, Jim mentioned something about marketing currency, and I'm interested in that. Okay? Because we're going to be, Emerson and I are going to be putting on a class. I don't know when yet. We're going to be putting on a class to be able to share that valuable information that Emerson came up with. He was going to write a book back in it's several years ago. I don't remember exactly when, but he put it on the back shelf and forgot about it. How many times have you had a brilliant idea? You started something and it goes back on the back shelf and it collects mental dust, not metal dust, but mental dust. And you forget about it. And the way it happened, Emerson may have to correct me on this, but the way it happened, if I remember correctly, I was talking to him about something and we were discussing, because he's our marketing guy here, we were discussing something about marketing on the TV show. And he started talking about, well, Jim, you're not really doing a good job. See, this is a problem even with me, sitting here at Master Control. I don't even know how to market this business good, because I'm so close to it. He took it from an outside view and looked at it. He says, Jim, you got so much value you don't even mention. Oh, what are you talking about, Emerson? Well, Jim. And he says, and then he started explaining to me about how you build value out of thin air. And I was going like, I hadn't even realized that. See, that's the problem we have in business. When we're trying to build our business, we're real busy. We're like a little beaver that's trying to build a dam in the middle of a flooded river, and you're by yourself, and you just, your wheels are spinning. You're like the gerbil in the habit trail. You've seen those things, but it's so easy to overlook the little things that provides real value to people. And we're going to put that class on. I got a Sweet Talk Emerson in to do it. And we talked about it in the past, but we just haven't done it, ladies and gentlemen, to be honest with you. And you know how it is. You get caught up in this, you get caught up in that. And then the holidays come, and, Thanksgiving through New Year's, everybody's kind of like, well, we eat a little bit of holiday mood. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that is something that is so valuable that we have to get this out to the little people out there. We're little people too. Like I tell people ask me, who's your audience? I said, people just like me. They're just everyday common people. I don't use makeup or anything like that. Somebody might say, well, Jim, it might be a good idea if you don't. But what you see with me is what you get. If you like me, that's fine. If you don't like me, that's okay too. You know, and but our audience is a true reflection of us because they relate to us. And that's what you need to do. You need to focus on who is your audience, who is your customers, who can relate to you. Because not everybody's going to like you or your product or your service. So what, right? But think about the joy and the jubilee that flows back and forth between the customer and the owner. When you bless them and they're so grateful and they bless you back, that's what you're searching for right there. That's the nuts and bolts of your business. And again, before I close, and we're running out of time here, ladies and gentlemen, my throat's a little, it's about gone too, to be honest with you. But again, our 6-minute webinar, we're going to be putting on an event for that. And if you would like to know more about it, complimentary, no strings attached. And we're going to select some people in there that will actually walk out with their own 6-minute webinar. That's about a $900 deal, ladies and gentlemen. I kid you not. I kid you not. In fact, remember I talked about Rick Cesari? I think that's kind of low what you guys are charging, you know. He's a marketing guru. But see, we want to keep it grassroots reality. And here on the TV show, we want to be able to reach out and help. We would prefer, and this is going to sound so terrible, and I hope I don't get in trouble with this, but single moms. I have a special place in my heart for single moms who are struggling, and you know they got kids at home and they got more money than they got money. If you are a single mom, or if you know of a single mom that would like to benefit from that 6-minute webinar, I will personally see to it that they get their 6-minute webinar without a penny out of their pocket. So help me. You have my word on that. And all they got to do is just email us here at the Inspiration E360 TV. And we're not going to ask for validation or anything like that. We'll take it on merit because if you lie, that's on you. Okay. And I know there'll be some people who try to take advantage of that, but that's on them because cheaters never get ahead in life. Also, too, Mr. Bill Heinrich's book, The 7 Levels of Truth, you can find it on Amazon. It's a great book, great place to start. I'm just going to read this one line here. It says, this book is for anyone seeking answers, solutions, and success in life. Our birthright is abundance, love, peace, and joy. Who doesn't want love, abundance, peace, and joy in their life? That's your birthright. That's what Bill is talking about there in that book. And also, too, if you'd like to know some more about the marketing currency, the social media program that we've got coming out, anything that we can do to help you, again, we will give you a complimentary evaluation of your competitors. We have that ability. And again, complimentary, no cost. We're not going to put you on an email and try to sell you, toothbrushes or anything like that. We don't play that game here. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, my time's about gone. My throat's about gone too. I sincerely hope you've enjoyed this. Please share the show with others. There's other people out there that could really benefit from this information. You can find us on Facebook. Messages events. Oh, I didn't even put my website up there. We got a real simple website, ourtvshow.live. Okay. Our actual website is Messages of Inspirational Stories. I think it's TV show. I don't remember now. Anyway, but just simple, ourtvshow.live. That's all you got to put in the search engine, and it will take you right to our website. And our shows are on there. It's a running blog. We keep that going like that. So if you miss a show here, if you want to find a show, you can also find us at on YouTube, Messages of Inspirational Stories. However, or just, again, if you're having trouble finding us or whatever, you can definitely get in touch with us at the station here, inspiratione360tv.com. On behalf of our team, we're very blessed here. We got wonderful people. We're family. I'm very humble about that because I take that very, very seriously. My family and my friends are precious to me. And I just hope and pray that you have a good year And I mean that. And first and foremost, I hope that you enjoy the love and abundance in your life that you're so richly entitled to. You need to love yourself first and, forgive yourself. Then you can love your friends and love other people. And there's going to be some people in life you need to love them enough to let them go. But thank you so much for watching our show. It is our humble prayer that in 2023, you and your loved ones will be richly blessed in health and happiness and in all areas of your life. I'm Jim Grant. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll be back with Finding Health Naturally. Got a guest tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.